Nuclear plants and energy are one of the most debated topics within physics due to the instability within them, along with a long list of pros and cons that come with it. Nuclear energy had many different promises when it was first discovered, which brings up a question. When was the power of nuclear energy first displayed? Well, it was first shown during World War II at the end of the war when the United States dropped nuclear bombs on Japan. After this devastation, people amongst the world agreed that nuclear power should not be used in warfare and only in advancements in technology within communities. People began to wonder what exact technologies could be produced from the use of nuclear power, ranging from more weapons to nuclear advancements within our own homes. Despite the excitement from the newly founded power, businesses were slow to accepting the idea because although it had potential, it was risky and these businesses had other options that were guaranteed to be successful. Along with this, the use of nuclear power proved to be far more expensive than most had imagined. But people continued to keep hopes alive and drove towards using nuclear power more often. Eventually, nuclear plants began to sprout. But why did these nuclear plants sprout so fast? Because oil prices due to war in the Middle East rose and gave the plants an opportunity to rise with them. So what are some nuclear plants and which ones were the most popular during the sprout? The most popular, and still the most popular today, was the light water reactor. It became popular because it wasn't expensive and it was almost guaranteed to work. So what did these actually do? They heat up water using a created chain reaction within the plant. This by the product of nuclear fission. What is nuclear fission? Nuclear fission is when an element already somewhat unstable becomes bombarded with neutrons and it creates a split and radiational energy is left over. Then, the radiation heats up the water itself. This displays the difference in some ways nuclear power is harnessed, as this displayed a way more controlled environment which was completely opposite of what was shown during World War II. Although it was much more safe than nuclear bombs, it still posed potential damage and it wasn't very efficient. Although the use of these plants became more popular, there were still threats as disasters could arise, such as complete destruction of plants and unhealthy nuclear clouds were being produced. The use of nuclear plants is still present today, with up to 80% of which are light water reactors. There have been ongoing studies of which types of ways to harness power is used, and there are still debates on which form is best to use, such as switching back to old, safer ways such as wind turbines, or to continue to use the nuclear power plants. Now, how does nuclear energy and these nuclear plants relate back to the basic concept of energy? Well, the entire process of which fission undergoes is transferring energy in hopes to create a different product of energy, such as the most popular use of light water reactors, which creates heat to heat up water. But since energy cannot be created or destroyed, the nuclear plants take heavy nuclei and split it, which releases a bunch of energy within that nuclei and makes it possible for the water to be heated up.